Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Alexis joining us. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, everyone.
Guys, Alexis is a coach here at Create Your Future. And somebody actually asked us in the comments about bringing some NLP to these videos. Why is NLP important? How does it help you to create? Well, one key concept in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is something we call modeling. So modeling is when you find somebody successful and you find out what they did to get there. So guess what we're sharing with you guys today? Our daily routines for our mental diet, so you can copy us and model us so you can create it in your life as well.
Yay, we model it.
So welcome, Alexis.
Hi, well, thank you for having me as usual. So you guys, this is something that we do get asked about a lot, like how often to say the mental diet, how long do we have to be on the mental diet, and then what should my mental diet actually be? And it's really important to think about that your mental diet for you is going to be specific to you. So if you're working with a coach, then you've determined that. So I have figured out for me what works. And now that I know for me what works, like Amanda is saying with the modeling, I model that day in and day out. So I think that's really important to know. So I've become my own success, and then I repeat the success because I know that it's like my default plan throughout the day. So as an example, let's pretend that I open my eyes. So my eyes open. I have a large Maine Coon cat, so I usually hear her meowing. My eyes open and I think to myself, today is my day. Today I'm thinking beautiful thoughts because I want to create a beautiful life for myself. And I am thinking beautiful thoughts throughout the day. So then I have 3 areas of thoughts and mental dieting that I think about right away. The first is always my body and how I feel in my body, thoughts about my body, feeling beautiful in my body. My hair is beautiful, my skin is beautiful, my body is digesting well, and my body feels healthy because I think that I'm the most important. The second is about finances and money and career. So money is always coming to me. Money comes in the door. Money loves me. I love money. Money is all over the place. I'm always seeing money. Money is always seeing me. Things like that. It changes depending on, what I'm experiencing and creating it. These are some foundational things. And then the third is the SP. We all have our SPs, and I have certain things that I say for that specific person. So that's what works for me. I also find that taking care of myself in the morning, getting to the gym, putting on makeup, doing my hair is a way that I feel successful. So I model that every day because it puts me in the mental diet. I know, boom, I get the mascara on and I'm in the mental diet zone. So that's the morning. And then throughout the day, I revisit those topics when I brush my teeth, when I go to the bathroom, when I'm walking, when I'm working out, when I'm not talking to someone in session or family friends or Amanda, like today, that I have more thoughts. And I'm always thinking for the future version, living in the end of those 3 areas already being a success.
Perfect. And you know what? That's pretty much exactly what I do as well. And one thing that I do when I am actually specifically working on something, as I've mentioned on these videos, is I've been looking at buying a house and stuff. So whenever something like that comes up, I automatically will do my intentions. Every time I think about the situation, or I see a message from my realtor or the bank or something, I'll automatically do my intentions. Or if I start questioning or if I start spiraling out of control, I'll get on top of my intentions. So basically I'll also do a mantra, so we already, for instance, here's a good example. So we already had our offer accepted by the developer of the house, the builder of the house, because it's brand new. They already accepted the offer. but that was yesterday. So yesterday, my mantra looked like this. Okay, I intend that the buyer or the builder accepts my offer and, I'm able to buy the place. Okay. So so that happened yesterday. Check. So now today my intentions have changed because now the bank's financing, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be financed by the bank because I'm good enough and I am going to get this place, right? So, my mantra will change as my situation evolves if I'm working on something special. But yeah, I'm the same way every morning. My thoughts create, everyone's being pushed out. Today's going to be a great day. What's going to happen? And it seems like the shower is the best place to do intentions.
I love it.
Don't ask me why. Or driving. That's the other time.
Driving for sure. Yeah.
Driving. I've created some great things driving. I don't know why, right? You know?
Right. Exactly. And then you want to think too, if you're kind of creating this plan for yourself, we get asked a lot. I get asked a lot by clients, Alexis, so like, how long do I have to do my mental diet for? Like, how long do I have to do this for? Well, the good news or the bad news, fortunately or unfortunately, is like your mental diet's forever, because we're always on some mental diet.
Mm-hmm.
So either you're on a diet that's helping you achieve what you want, or you're on a diet that's not.
That's right. That's right. You know, you can lighten up on it a little bit. Like, so for instance, do I tell myself that Andrew loves me and wants to be with me as much as I did when I first met him? No, but it sort of gets on autopilot. See, what happens is you have a thought often enough and it actually ends up reprogramming your brain. So you have just the whisper of a thought and then it automatically fires the rest, right? That's why you'll find that, you know, sometimes you have a negative thought, you don't even finish it, but it's such an ingrained belief that you don't even need to finish it. It's like a whoop of a thought and it's boom, it's done. That's because you've thought it and that pathway is really well worn in, right? Mm-hmm. So when you start to shift those thoughts, you got to make the new pathway worn in. Now I just think of Andrew and all of a sudden I get the feeling that he loves me. I don't even need to say the whole thing. It just automatically fires off now. And that's the whole new, you know, the whole new thing that I've created. So I think that's a good way to look at it is, you know, at first when you start a mental diet and everyone will say, oh, it hurts, right? Stop. Right. You know, and it is because you're actually physically making these your neurons stop firing together and you're actually rewiring them. So yeah, you're causing a physical change in your brain. So yeah, it's going to take a bit of energy to actually do that, right? But understand it really doesn't take long to actually start to make that a habit and to shift it over. And the more you focus on it, the easier it'll become. So that's really why coaching is great, to get a list of intentions, because then when they're done for you, you've got a list to go to. And once you start saying them, it'll get easier and easier and easier and easier to create new ones and to keep on that positive side, right?
Totally. And then, I mean, Amanda, wouldn't you agree that when you have done that enough, like when you have the thought of Andrew now, and then it fires off that whole different neural pathway in the brain that's speaking to the neurology in your body, you feel good. Like, it feels good, right? So it's like, the right intentions and the right mental diet feels good, and it gives you that feeling of blissfulness and like you're living in the end of all the things you want, then that gives you enough momentum to continue going with it, because it's like you're going to get in the relationship or whatever you're manifesting, and then you have whole new intentions and things to manifest for, and then the mental diet can change. Like, it's a really beautiful thing.
It is. And you know what, I've just come up with, so do you know when you first meet somebody, and then you meet them and like you see them and you do they like me? Like you get that sort of moment of questioning, do they like me? You know, like almost like, could this be disappointing or whatever, you know? Like you see a message from them, you're like, oh, is this good or bad? You know what I mean? Like you know, and then you get on your intentions. Okay, so that's how it used to be with Andrew, right? When we first met, like, oh, was he messaging me to say yes, he's coming over, or to cancel? Like, oh, you know what I mean? Now, you know, that I've fought that so much. Now I just look at him coming, and I know he wants me, and I see him phone. I'm like, how cute! Like, there's never any question now, because I've solidified and crystallized that so much. So it does change. We have to just fight in those moments. Now, being said, like, you know what? Even if you have that moment when you see something, it doesn't have to create it a bad way. Because yesterday when I got the call from my realtor, I had a moment, but I was like, no, it's happening. And then it did happen. So, you know, don't think that because you have that moment of worry and oh my God, like, you don't know, you talk yourself out of it, take a deep breath and affirm what you want. You can still get it. Don't think that a moment of apprehension is going to stop it, because it's not, you know, it can still happen even if you have that. But the important thing is not to dwell on it, is to fight it right in that moment, right?
Exactly. And that's the other thing, is people say, well, how often do I say my mental diet? We've already covered that this is forever, but that we want to encourage everyone that it's a beautiful addition to your life. Yeah. And a wonderful thing once you get the hang of it. And that the other thing is, I just lost the thought. I had a brain fart.
I intend you'll remember.
Okay.
I intend to remember. But I mean, you know, I think the most thing is like my rule of thumb is do your intentions and your affirmations every time you think of the subject,
Yes.
anytime you're questioning the subject, every time you notice the lack in your reality, you've remembered what is it.
That's it. I got it. Thank you. It came back. Thanks for
No, it did. Every viewer was like, remember.
Is you know you're off your this is too funny. Is that you know you're off your mental diet when you feel anxious, worried, afraid, sad, longing, missing, needing, having to have. All of those things are lack, right, guys? We know that by now. So that's when you get back on it. So that's how often. If it's with a new SP, it's going to probably be pretty often. So that's throughout the day, but we want your intentions to become part of you. We want your intentions to be part of your daily life. That's why this is about daily routine, because my intentions I see as part of my new brain thinking. They're not separate from me. They're putting in here. They're in here. I always do this for some reason.
You know, I just have this thought, right? I remember when I first started, dating Andrea. Yeah, I had a lot of intentions. In fact, so many intentions, it made me crazy, right? And then, I remember saying to him one day, I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy about you. Like, I'm seriously crazy about you. Like, because in my mind, like, it was a crazy amount of intentions. But you know what? I mean, every single one of them was so amazing. And now I don't have as many, because you, like I said, you build that and you create that, so you just have the maintaining ones, right? But it's so worth it, so if I was to say, well, what do I need to do to have anything I want in my life? Well, the only thing that you need to do is to focus every single thought that you have on it, and every single one of those thoughts will pile up. They'll create feelings, they'll create beliefs, and then you will create the reality that you want. And it's really that simple. And it's simple because you know how to do it, rather than questioning if you're even doing it right, or do I even know how to do it? Like, I remember when I first started learning this, I was like, do I really need to watch every thought? Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, I want to keep my negative thinking. I still want to get what I want, right? Like, is it going to be worth it? Like, is this even going to work? Like, I really don't want to think positive if it's not going to work. I really don't always. But what does it matter? Like I said to myself one day, I'm like, what do I have to lose? Like, what do I seriously have to lose? And then I just jumped in and did it, and it changed my life. So, I mean, like, I get it. Like, go crazy with it. Go crazy. You can never do too many intentions, like, ever, and throw as many as you can on there, but you're going to see, hear, and feel. So incredibly important.
Exactly. Yep. I couldn't agree more. Now there's no back. Now we're in this. It's a forever thing,
Yep. How long do you got to do intentions about him wanting to be with you? As long as you want him to be with you.
Exactly. So I mean, I couldn't be more thankful than ever for a mental diet, because it's fun now. It's a great thing. Like, I can't imagine not having it. So I'm happy and thankful for it every day now.
Exactly. Absolutely amazing. So guys, there you go. Those are our daily routines. We pick areas of our lives that we're working on, and we go through them and reaffirm them every morning. And then we stick to our mental diet throughout the day. Myself, and I know Alexis does as well. We create mantras if there's any special area we're working in. Always do your intentions when you think about the situation, when you're questioning, when you're feeling any emotions that shouldn't be there. Well, that shouldn't, but they don't make you feel good. You need to get back on your diet. Fill your mind with everything that's good, and have those mental conversations that make you feel good. So, it takes a little bit of work at first, but once you start to solidify it and start to create those new neural pathways, they'll just start to happen automatically. So thank you so much for being here today, Alexis.
Well, Amanda, thank you as always for having me. It's always very fun and exciting.
You are amazing. And guys, remember, she is available for coaching. The link is in the description below. Thank you guys for commenting. If you do have any questions for me that you would like me to answer, there is a link for the Patreon group. Please join that to answer the questions there, because we do all the questions on the Patreon group, and I do answer them on the YouTube Live. So definitely join us over there. It's a lot of fun. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.